And welcome again to I Love Black People. And we've been blessed today to have a wonderful brother, creative brother, visionary brother, courageous brother. I there's not enough descriptions to give that would just give this justice to this brother's body of work, who he is as a man, and what he stands for. And I just wanted to get this opportunity to share this amazing brother with our family here at I Love Black People. I have our good brother, Damian Smith.
Help protect us from racism and xenophobia by becoming an I Love Black People ambassador today. Join on iloveblackpeople.com. No matter where you are in the world, join us today and get access to the I Love Black People network. Special thanks to Banneker Communities.
Thank you so much.
What's up, my brother? My good brother Sinclair, Damian D. Smith in the house. What's up? I love black people. Man, I love saying it. It made me feel warm and fuzzy.
Well, look, I normally when I do these, I always tell the guests, look, instead of me giving your bio, it's best if you just go ahead and give the people what they need to hear. I've done a few of these and kind of messed up the intro, so I wanted to make sure you did it. So you did it right for yourself. So give a little background, good brother Damian.
Well, I am an actor, writer, director. I am currently filming something that if you go to the trades and put my name in, it pops up. From my understanding, I signed some paperwork saying that we don't talk about it, but I'm seeing things pop up on the internet. So that's one thing. But my last TV role was I played Top Notch on Snowfall, and before that, I was on the Purge television show, coming in the second season, and then those last TV film, and then also my featured documentary, Target St. Louis Volume 1, has just won the 25th Annual Urban World Film Festival Best Featured Documentary. And we have just played at the St. Louis International Film Festival, and now we're headed to the Montreal Black Film Festival.
Well, let's talk about that Target St. Louis Volume 1. I think that, how many movies have you actually produced and directed? Like, if you think about this, where does this particular movie fall in line with your, the work you've done?
Well, I've produced and directed, multiple films on both sides of the fence. My latest short narrative, Daddy's Big Girl, won the Gentleman Jack Daniels Filmmaker of the Year award for that film, and then my another narrative short that we had about that won the Art with Impact Filmmaker award, and then we had another short narrative as well, and that done well. We premiered at not NWC, which one of them? It was the inaugural Stay Woke Festival. So we've been doing good with our narrative work, and we're working towards our first feature narrative, Victory High, AKA the V. And then on the documentary side, again, I mentioned our feature documentary, Target St. Louis Volume 1, but we have also directed and produced a docu-series called about hair. We was advocating for the passing of the Crown Act, which is passed in California. Now we are lobbying to get it passed in statewide throughout Louisiana, and we targeted New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Shreveport. And out of the 2 out of 3, we've helped lobby to get it passed with our dedication to narrative storytelling with a purpose. With myself, with our company 4910 Rosalie, and another company that I have called The Tangled Production, with my partner Neil Weeks on with that aspect of things as well. We do a lot of lobbying. Well, not technically lobbying, but storytelling with a purpose.
All right, and before you even did that, I remember you was in New York, and you were doing like some of these off Broadway or Broadway shows, how would you compare and contrast some of that work and the film stuff you've been doing?
It's so funny. My theater company in New York City, we focus and tackled on underrepresented and works that are contemporary. One of the issues that I found that And when I was going out for theater roles as an actor, I was going to audition for roles that I felt they were historical. They had a lot of richness to it, but it wasn't contemporary and didn't represent the stories that I wanted to see told. So I started a theater company, and we produced shows like Jean Genet the Maids, which talked about certain social elements and political constructs and ideas and narratives that we wanted to discuss. And then we also did George C. Wolfe's The Color Museum, as you know, good brother. And we just, and we all know, if you know that play, what social issues and things that it tackled going with that. And also we did Riff Raff and we did Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll by Eric Bogosian. So we, that was played by our good brother, Latino brother. It was. I love that show. But we did a lot of other productions. Also, Just Happy to Be Here, our one-man show, which was mine, that I wrote. And also with that show, we got nominated for an Adelco Theater of Excellence Award in New York City. So, but those, again, all those plays tackled and spoke about things that address issues and things and giving voice to the voices, and turning light and serving the underrepresented community. So that's what we do with our film. So that's the correlation, that we just took it from a theater audience and that same construct and business mind, and then moved it over to, film, and, we're landing with the moving picture,
Well, how does that differ with, I think, the point you were making with the historical background? So I guess, the theater work that you said that you saw or were auditioning for, you wanted to do something more contemporary. When you were saying, what's the difference between the historical pieces versus the contemporary? Because it seems like there's a mix I've seen you do.
Yeah, there is a mixture. But here's the thing: like, for example, all I was seeing was the story. And I love these stories, but you can't keep seeing the mountain, or you go see, or you're seeing theater plays of the story of this Billie Holiday, or the story of this person, a story of that person, a story of this person, which is, these stories do need to come out, or they talk about a play from way, 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 way back in the day. And what's happening now, and because I don't want to name out exactly plays and sound like I'm targeting somebody, I just want to talk
right.
No, I just want to talk about a time frame and a feeling, where at that exact time there were avant-garde theater that could be coming out actually addressing the issues of today and what's happening. Because we can't keep talking about those times that was happening back then. Because, again, first thing, the disconnect in the audience with theater, especially black theater, is already there. So if we're not putting out things that are relating to the audience, they can at least attract new theater enthusiasts, then we just, we keep just placating to an audience that's already sustained and that already knows what's going on. They just come to see a performance now. And then we're not learning too much. And then, they're moving on up in age, and we have that void of no audience that was cultivated, theater enthusiasts. So that's why that was one of the factors in which that I did my play. So, and when I say contemporary, so our first play was Daydreams. And it was a fresh new playwright named James Gibbs, and that play focused on gentrification in Harlem. So this guy, and the story about Daydreams is that his father left him a bar in Harlem, but due to gentrification, he could no longer afford the rent. So what he was doing was holding illegal tongue games during the day. And then the story centered around one of the last tongue games he was having, and each one of the people at the at the tongue game kind of represented a person and a personality. And one of the brothers in there that was in there, we kind of like one of the rougher brothers. He comes in talking to the dude who's holding the tongue game. He's like, man, listen, at least your father left you with something. You were able to build from this, man. A lot of us didn't start with nothing. And so I'm just pointing out that we address those type of issues in our plays and our productions, to show, what's happening today and what's happening right now. That's what we like to, that's one of the main factors why I started the theater company, and again, same issue in which that target, make it full circle, to speak about it on the other side of that coin when we're talking about representation in film. Let's say in documentary form, where the Free to Be Free is the name of the docuseries about hair I was speaking about, but also Target St. Louis Volume 1, in which we're representing, we're giving voice to the voices again, addressing things and talking about secret chemical testing and, the most vulnerable population, underprivileged African Americans post World War II.
Now, I think, again, we kind of pulled this together in a way because it's making me really curious. When you're talking about the theater and your transition to film, and it's almost like even on a metaphor, like from New York to LA, why isn't there, or is there a theater scene in LA? I know there's a theater scene in New York, but I know the focus of LA is Hollywood and in the film industry. Is that just me being somebody not knowing? Is there a theater, life in LA or not really?
You know what? There is a theater life in LA. It's funny, when I first got to LA, I said, listen, I'm done with theater right now. I came here to focus on film and TV, and that's my goal. But when I got here, I did one play that wasn't a full production. It was like a collection of monologues. I got to play with that. So I did one that was called like the Obama-logues, but that was just a one-off, just, fun thing, just to, because you get addicted to that stage, honestly. That's what I'm missing. But I said no more like full-out productions. But then when I got here, I got hooked up with a play called 12 by 9. And that play, we toured around the United States with that play as well. And so I'm just saying that was some good play. That's some good theater here. And it was nominated. It won some NAACP Image Awards for the play. It was a cool production. Before I even got on, it was rocking. So, it was really going. So it was the theater here. But, it's kind of few and far between to a degree, especially in comparisons to New York City, because that's the hub of theater. People come to Los Angeles for film and television, mostly, primarily. Most people don't come here and say, hey, I want to get into theater.
Okay. Hey, turn your video off.
Okay.
I think it's because it's getting distorted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
All right, awesome. So, go back and give me a little bit more of that, what you were saying about the theater and your experience in LA.
Okay. Experience with LA theater is like when I first moved here, I wasn't planning on doing any theater. I did a quick one-off of like a monologue slam, which was fun to do. But I said, I'm going to, sit the theater down for a minute. And then just so happened, a really, really interesting play came in front of me. And I was, Fred Thomas Jr. was a playwright. It was contemporary. It was dope. I was a 3-person play, so you're on stage and you really ripping things up, things that's towards my liking. So I hopped on that, and it was a tour. So I did 12 by 9, and we toured around with that. And I was just saying that to say that there's theater in LA, and it's good theater in LA, but you got to kind of, it's kind of few and far in between. And then, especially in comparison to New York City, it's kind of dwarfs it when it comes to in those aspects. So. No one really comes to Los Angeles saying, I want to get a theater career,
Okay, awesome. Now, I think that was, again, I never heard anyone kind of just compare and contrast theater to theater on each one of those coasts, but I think that was super.
Here's a little add-on to that. Excuse me, you can't. It's another way to say it. New York is to cultivate your art, in my opinion. Now, you go to New York to cultivate your art, to cultivate your skill set, to sharpen steel, all that's everything. And LA is where you go to sell it.
Wow. Go ahead. Cultivate and sell. Wow. I get it. Bring it together, cultivate it, and then it grows, and then you go sell it. I love it. All right. Well, then look, you selling, and you out there with something that you really cultivated and sold with this Target St. Louis Volume 1. What's the inspiration for that? What did it take to get that off the ground, and what are you looking forward to with all these accolades you've already received from it?
Well, you know what? I mean, how I came to that and how it came about, and that's the main reason I'm pushing and push to get it done was that, how I came to the story is that I'm from St. Louis, from the north side of St. Louis, and me and my grandmother, we used to communicate with each other through letters. So she sent me a letter or something, you know, a little clipping. But most of the time, the letters were about family, gossip, you know, regular stuff. But in this one particular time, she sent me this news clipping. And this news clipping it chronicled the story of a Dr. Lisa Martino Taylor, who did her dissertation about this secret chemical testing that she kind of researched. She stumbled up on doing the research and kind of wrote about it for a dissertation. It got published, a little blurb in the local newspaper, St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And my grandmother sent that clipping to me. And she called her and talked to her about it. And she was like, yeah, you know, this is the neighborhood I was in. She started describing about like how people thought her and kind of knew what was going on and da-da-da. So then I went and started investigating a little more and came across, you know, some information that was disturbing to me. And I couldn't believe this as I was finding all this out. So, you know, talking to Dr. Taylor, talking to some of the survivors of the situation. So, I have a certain skill set of storytelling, like kind of what we spoke about earlier. So I wanted to use my, my skill set and tools to benefit the people where I come from, you know. So I went to St. Louis to do this documentary.
All right. And so what were some of the things that, you know, I guess taking that journey, going back to the Lou and, you know, with your craft, what were some of the takeaways, you know, some of the surprises, some of the things you thought were pretty cool, or maybe some of the things that were a bit more challenging?
So, what was challenging was, and it's something that I'm working towards helping make it less hurdling, is that trying to find certain resources to execute what I need to get done. So the film industry is like not as present as I would like it to be in St. Louis, which I think it has a great opportunity to be. So, you know, getting that together and getting a skilled labor pool for certain aspects of things. But you know, just on the flip side of that, I was a really great students that I was able to deal with that was up on their things. So when you think you're looking for a professional, I found a lot what I needed from the school, especially our good sister Renee at Flow Valley Community College, where she was over the media department, and she pointed some really great people in my direction that I've worked with, especially our good brother Caleb out there. So I was able to tap into a sister, and that's you know, she's a what is that? Please don't let me get it wrong. Is she a Delta or is she an AKA? I don't want no smoke from her. But she had her brother's back.
But that, I mean, the fact that the community college system in St. Louis was super helpful, I think that's a great shout out, a good testimony.
Oh yeah, very much so, man. Very much. It was helpful when I was so that was a thing to kind of transition into this. What was surprising and made me feel good when I was able to get, and then able to work with young folks that, you know, how you get to be when you're able to, you know, see the cool part about giving back and, not really investing where you come from is that you get that feeling where you can recognize and you get to be the person you would have liked to seen when somebody else was giving back that you saw. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so that was really cool. And I was like, hey man, yeah, we cool, man. We can get out, we can down to we got some chicken wings and chill out, you know. So we because we worked hard, and these fellas, these young men were excellent in what they were doing. They was true professionals, and I was really impressed by them and was able
you said chicken wing. Is London's Sun still open?
Yeah, London's Sun is still open, man.
Okay.
You know they own the property. That's what I'm talking about. Just like
that. Okay. I'm just double checking. So Jack Salmon. Yeah. I know that's a St. Paul. Well, humbly, I get it. I know the connect. I get the story is embedded in the DNA. Tell me about that. Tell me about now, that story that you've been able to get out. You're starting to get a lot of accolades and getting getting it noticed. What's the journey look like from here?
But the journey look like from here, man, is that we're getting the word out. Like the original goal, I'm sorry if I kind of skipped over your original first question. The original goal for this is to get the word out and give voice to the voiceless. So these people are able to, now they can feel, the more we talk about it, the more we get it out, the more things kind of change. As we all know how powerful, public opinion can be. But so I think after you see Target St. Louis Volume 1, you'll see you see what the issue is, and you want to push to get it going and get it worked out. So it would engage someone, and when you engage someone, they take action most of the time. You know.
All right, but how can the folks that are listening, of course, they need to see it now. Right now, besides knowing you personally and having access to you, and you being such a generous and kind and giving person, besides that, how can they best check the movie out?
Well, right now we're doing right now with Target St. Louis Volume 1, we're doing the film festival circuit. So the next we headed up to the Toronto Black Film Festival, I believe, and it's out of the Montreal Black Film Festival. Please excuse me because I'm just getting off of shooting and like a very hard shooting day.
No, there's a Canadian film festival with Black folks. We with it. No, we
exactly. So we're going up there next. Then after that, we're actually looking for where we're going to find our distribution platform so we can get everyone to see it soon. But we're presently doing our festival route. Now, what you can do is follow me and follow the film. Myself is Damien, Damien D. Smith, Smith. Again, it's Damien D. Smith. That's just my whole name, no spaces. And on IG and Facebook. And then also you can follow Target St. Louis, VOL1. And that's Target St. Louis, VOL1. Again, it's Target, STLOUIS, VOL1 on all platforms as well. And we're going to let you know all the information about Target St. Louis Volume 1 and where you can find it when it's able to come out to the masses or catch it to your closest film festival near you.
It was if somebody had a film festival. I mean, again, our audience is some very, hip. I mean, much hipper than me and connected type folks. If they wanted to get you to be a part of their film festival, is there an email or is there a route that they can take in order to connect with you? And I'm sure some of that's on the social media. Is there an email or I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's perfect. Is what you said. Social media is a great way to get in contact with me. That's why I said follow me at Damien, Damien D. Smith on IG and Facebook and send me a message. Mostly on IG, I'm always there. But then there's info at 4910rosalie.com. Info at 4910rosalie.com. But I'll tell you, right now, IG is the quickest way because, in between, shots, in between things, our team is checking that as well. And, how spam goes with email addresses sometimes.
Right. Things can get lost.
I'm happy they ain't got spam on IG like that because it gets straight to you,
Right. Look, and even probably when you send links of movies to people, if it goes through the spam, they may not even get it. So
all type of stuff.
I think it's great that you have the IG out there so that people can definitely get what you're sending and pick up what you're putting down. Exactly. I think that's so now that we have the actual film circuit that you're doing with the different festivals. What's next? This is, it seems like you're staying busy, even trying to catch you today, you coming off sets and doing different things that will soon be revealed. But I know you have to keep the things that you're doing, in perspective. What's next? What's next for Damien D. Smith? What's the big deal?
Well, what's next? Well, we'll finish it. Well, first thing I do is finish up this film that's coming out I'm really happy to be a part of. And then we're working on getting the first feature narrative, Victory High, aka the V, going. That film. That's going to be our first feature narrative coming out of 4910 Rosalie. And then again with our partners with the Tangled, we have a couple other projects that we just got back from shooting in Ghana for. So we had a show that was shot in Ghana. You can also check my website too, 4910rosalie.com, and you'll be able to keep up with us as well. And a lot of our updates will be popping up on there and also our social media feeds run concurrently on the page on our website. So you'll be able to see all the stuff. We just got back from Ghana shooting a show that we can't wait to get to the people as well. So we got a few irons in the fire, and then also
No, now, bro,
out now.
you just switched up from Louisiana to Ghana. Now hold up,
Yeah, man.
Talk about this Ghana real quick.
Oh, Ghana's beautiful, man. So our show that we're shooting out there is, I just tell you this, I am a person that try to keep my ear to the streets and my eyes on the pulse of what's going on and temperature. This is something that I haven't seen out there, and what I'm doing is showing Ghana in a way that I haven't personally seen it. I'm not saying it's not out there, but I just ain't seen it. So I want to put it out there and show. I want to show the world how beautiful our country is, the motherland is, and then also we're for a purpose and a goal. So it's going to be a great show. I don't want to go too deep in it, but it's going to be a really cool show. It's for the family. It's not a narrative, but it's entertainment. But you will see what I'm talking about pretty soon.
Well, with that, thank you, good brother Damien. As we always leave off, I am because we are, and I definitely am who I am because of your hard work and your consistent and your dynamic support of the things, my family, and all the work that we do. We are family. Thank you so much, good brother Damien. And I know everybody who watches and who's going to come out and see that amazing movie, Target St. Louis, Volume 1. Make sure y'all are telling every festival you know, all the folks you know, to check out Target St. Louis, Volume 1. It's very important that we support our artists, protect our artists, and thank God for Damien. And we'll catch y'all next time.
Thank you, brother.
Help protect us from racism and xenophobia by becoming an I Love Black People ambassador today. Join on iloveblackpeople.com. No matter where you are in the world, join us today and get access to the I Love Black People network. Special thanks to Banneker Communities.